Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris, and today we're going to be adding a motor to the Orient Express. So let's get started. And so before we get started, it is just about that time of the month again. I am once again going to be doing another Q&A for the month of December. We just did one a few weeks back for November, and so I'm going to be doing it sometime next week. And so if you guys have any questions for me, make sure to drop your questions below on this video or on the previous Q&A. I will answer questions from both of those comment sections, so definitely leave a comment if you have any questions for me regarding the city, the tables that I built, the software that I use to edit the videos, literally anything. I will answer it, so drop your questions down below and I will answer it next week. Alright, so I've been looking forward to this day for quite a while because I got this train pretty much when it came out, or within like a month or so of it being released. And I love this thing. I think it looks great. And for the longest time since the start of the channel, it has pretty much sat on these tracks here and it has not moved unless I've touched it. And so today is finally the day. The other day I placed an order for Black Friday. Like the Lego group put the battery box and the controller on sale. And so I ended up buying the motor, the battery box, and the controller, and they just got delivered. And so if you want to see that video, make sure to click that video in the top right where I unbox pieces from Lego as well as some cool components for this train today. But without further ado, let's bring the train over to the build table and we will get started on motorizing it. And then hopefully by the end of the video, my goal is to have it complete a lap around here. So let's get started. All right, so before I got started on tearing this apart to put the motor in, I figured it would probably be smart to, well, A, put the batteries in, and B, make sure that it works. And as you guys can see, this works. The only thing is that it doesn't stay moving, so that's something that I have to look into. I've never used the powered up system before. I've used power functions, but apparently it's different, so I'm gonna have to do a tiny bit of research into this to make sure I'm using it properly. But without further ado, let me start taking this apart. I'm using the instructions. They're free from Rebrickable. I'm going to put a picture on the screen for you of the version that I'm using. The guy who put them up put two different versions up, and they're both for free, which is awesome. I'm using the version 1.3 of the instructions here just because it's less pieces and it's less of a modification. And so these are the pieces that you need to make this modification here. There's a free parts list on Rebrickable, but I'm going to just put a little clip here for you just to show you guys all the pieces that you need. And actually the 4 1x2 bricks in black right here are not at all required for this modification. Those are for the passenger coaches, for the bogies if you want to modify those, but they are not required for the locomotive modification, which I didn't know beforehand, but it doesn't really matter. They're just 1x2 bricks, and so it's a pretty easy thing to find. So without further ado, let me start taking this apart, and I will show you guys how that starts to turn out. All right, so I'm starting by disassembling this locomotive into chunks here, and that was my first mistake. I should have just taken the entire thing apart, but I thought it'd be easier to just leave it in chunks and then just put it back together as needed. I was wrong. I was so wrong with that, but it worked out in the end. It just took me a little bit of extra time to get there. And when it was all said and done, this probably took me about an hour, maybe 45 minutes to an hour. But yeah, it would have been so much easier had I just taken the whole thing apart. But it was a lot of searching for pieces in there, but it was all worth it in the end. I think it looks great. It obviously still looks the same as it did beforehand, which was my main concern. And yeah, so it looks really good and I'm happy with it. So let's take a look at it in real time and test out the motor. All right, so this is the completed modification here, and that didn't take too long to do, to be honest with you. I mean, you guys saw it in the time lapse. It would have been a lot easier, like I said, if I had just taken the entire locomotive apart, but I decided to keep it in sections, and that really helped towards the end. But especially at the beginning, it was really challenging to find the pieces that were needed because they were pulling stuff from all parts of the model. And so That was a little bit annoying, but that's on me. I should have taken it all apart, but I think it's fine as it is. And so now that this whole thing is done, the battery box is in here and the cable is connected. And it's nice is that actually the figure can still fit in there. I'm going to put him in just a second. But these are all of the leftover pieces here. You get 3 leftover 2x4 bricks, 2 1x4 plates, a bunch of snot bricks, some 1x2 bricks, some 2x2 bricks, 1x4s, whole bunch of plates and all this other stuff here. And so there's a lot of extras. And so you put less into it. Technically, you only need 28 pieces. 24 actually, because these don't even count. These are for the bogies on the passenger coaches, which is entirely optional. So yeah, this is actually pretty good. I'm happy with how this all turned out here. I will be probably keeping all of this in a bag just in case I want to take the motor out of this. I can just put these back in. And that is pretty much it. So let me just test this really quick with the motor, and then we'll make sure everything is good and we can place it on the track and we can see how it all looks. All right, so I have the guy in the front here, and I also have it hooked up to the both coaches onto the track here. And I also went ahead, I don't have space for the Horizon Express, so it's just sitting on those base plates over there. But now the entire track is clear, and so it's all ballasted, and so it should all be good to go. So let me do the maiden voyage right here. I'm just going to press the start button here, and we're going to see how it goes. So let me give you guys a little bit of a different angle here. And you can see the train moving. Makes it around this first turn fine. Second turn is a little slow because the coach is on the switch track and that curve while the engine is on that one. But that should be all right. And then you come over here. Comes out of the tunnel just fine. And around the 4th curve back to the train station. I'm so happy with this, guys. I don't think you understand. This is really, really awesome. And so if you guys really like this as much as I do, make sure to like the video and subscribe. This is going to wrap up today's video. At least for me talking, I'm going to let the train run for a couple extra minutes. Just so you guys can get a couple cool views of it. Just like this shot right here. But like I said, that is going to wrap up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked what I did, make sure to like the video and subscribe, as well as click the bell notifications so you don't miss any future uploads. If you guys have any feedback for me on this train being motorized, and also if there's any other trains that you want to see motorized, and also how to use this controller, because at the moment, if I let go, the train stops. So if you guys have any feedback for that, please, please, please let me know how this thing works. This is my first time using it, but once again, thank you guys for watching. And like I said, I'm going to leave the camera going for an extra couple of minutes just to let you guys watch the train go around. But that's it from me, and so I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.